Like and subscribe right now, and Bitcoin peep will make you rich. Dragonfly close up looks like a Pixar character. The difference between an alligator, left, and a crocodile, right. Dinner Saniture, the feral boy found after being raised by wolves, and was the inspiration for the Jungle Book's character of Mowgli. 12-year-old Freddie Mercury in Bombay, India, 1958. This monstrosity here is known as the Standard Model Lagrangian. It's an equation that encapsulates everything we currently know about particle physics. A colorblind friend annoyingly put the orange umbrella inside the green cover. I've used an app to simulate his vision and this is the result. I don't blame it on him anymore lol. Normal, colorblind. A 2,000-year-old glass mosaic, founded in the city of Zugma, Turkey. What the night sky would look like if Jupiter was as close as the moon. The image of 4,000-year-old skeletons of a mother who was trying to shield her child from a massive earthquake that struck China in 2000 BC and triggered massive floods in an event that is sometimes referred to as China's Pompeii. Fisher Island, the richest zip code in America with an average income of $2.2 million. Vials of heroin, fentanyl, and carfentanil side by side, each containing a lethal dose of the drug. In Brazil, a couple planted 2 million trees in 20 years to recreate a forest. 2001, 2019. A 2,000-year-old sapphire ring which is believed to belong to the Roman Emperor Caligula. A portrait of his fourth wife is carved into the side. It sold for $600,000. Joe O'Riordan, 1915 to 1939, aka the happiest prisoner on death row, was a mentally challenged man who was wrongfully accused and arrested for murder and rape. This is a photo of him giving his toy trains, given by Warden Roy Best, to a fellow inmate preceding his section. Happiest man in China, taken in 1901 by British anthropologists, after deciding to document the Chinese. The Chinese didn't know photos were a serious matter, and decided to be goofy, hence the pose and smile. 1 billion-year-old fossil that is believed to be an ancestor to Earth's very first plants. Flamingo art at Tampa International Airport. An elderly couple refused to allow the government to demolish their home in Wenling, Zhejiang Province, China, claiming the relocation compensation offered would not be enough to cover the cost of rebuilding. The neighboring homes were dismantled, and the new road was built around the building. A human chess match played in 1924. World's largest log cabin, Portland, Oregon, USA, 1938. Built in 1905, burned down in 1964. $40 million Ferrari at my local gas station. Two albino squirrels somehow found each other and are in the process of trying to create more albino squirrels. El Nino, the 7-year-old Incan boy frozen in time. A victim of child sacrifice, he was one of 3 children found at the summit of Volcan Lico after being left there to die more than 500 years ago. Sealing of a mosque in Iran. How to ink up multiple barrels for rainwater collection. Took me over 7 years to collect all of this sea glass. The world's best preserved meteor crater, Arizona. Neris sandersi, a species of sandworm under a microscope. This school in Vancouver, BC, Canada installed a slide so kids can take that instead of the stairs to leave the school. The new Texas Rangers stadium is completely air conditioned with ammonia. This is a seriously impressive building with a completely retractable roof. I have never watched baseball so comfortable at like 70 degrees when it was 95 degrees outside. This landscape painted on the inside of a cut log. There was a Black Wall Street in Oklahoma until a white mob massacred hundreds and destroyed the town on June 1, 1921. A couple in their 70s designed a life-size Totoro as a gift to their grandchildren. It quickly became a tourist attraction, and the grandparents even offer a red umbrella for those taking pictures. The first complaint letter, made from clay, was sent in 1750 BC in Mesopotamia from a man named Nani to a merchant named the Nazi. Nani was mad that he received the incorrect grade of copper that he had already paid for, and that the merchant was rude to his servant when confronted. 40-million-year-old Nat in Baltic amber. Master of carving created the owl. A soldier of the US Civil War that survived a bullet between his eyes 1863. Some paper match heads from the First World War. Dolly Parton reduced the dropout rate of her hometown from 30% to 6%. In 1990, the high school dropout rate in Sevierville, Dolly Parton's hometown, was over 30%. In 1991, she launched the Buddy program, offering 7th and 8th graders $500 if they graduated. The dropout rate for those classes dropped to 6% and has generally retained that average to this day. The very rare albino alligator. Operation Baby Lift brought more than 3,000 Vietnamese babies to the USA after their parents died during the Vietnam War. The first Baby Lift flight crashed, killing 78 orphan children and 50 add-ons on board the aircraft. Replicating a block of the Great Pyramid with copper chisels, it took 4 workers only 4 days to cut out this 2.5-ton block. Firefighters attempt to save General Sherman, the world's largest tree by volume. General Sherman. Taliban in Bom Yan province. 39-year-old Gavin Munro took 12 years of his time to slowly but surely make minor tweaks to the direction of growth of these chairs in order to form a chair made out of trees. The man even has an entire dark full of trees that are a work in progress, all in the name of natural furniture. The illusion of choice. The night sky petunia. Crocheted anatomy model, complete with internal organs. This store in Paris. Sculpture of Christ trapped inside the tree, abandoned cemetery on southeast of Poland. Since it's Halloween season, here's 5 of the most haunted dolls that have ruined people's lives. The Stairs of Death. Huayna Picchu, Peru. Texas shipping containers. Definitely slept on ingenuity here. This is the longest way in the world on foot without the need to cross the ocean or any other significant barrier. It runs from Cape Town, South Africa, to Magadan, Russia. There is no need for planes or boats as there are bridges. UV imaging shows how birds see each other. An electronics vendor in Akihabara Radio Center, Japan. Diver with diving suit, 1800s. The moment you realize this is one photograph. The manhole covers in Oklahoma show a city map with a white dot showing where you are in the city. A thin TV screen only 4 inches thick with an automatic timing device to record TV programs for later viewing as shown at the Home Furnishings Market in Chicago, 1961. A bridge for wildlife to cross a highway in the Netherlands. One of the best scenic drives in Wisconsin. is the Dog County Coastal Byway, inspired by Jens Jensen, and the 15 curves seen here on Highway 42's aim is to slow drivers down and make them take in their surroundings, which I think it does wonderfully. Russian boxer Ruslan Provodnikov's urine sample after a 12-round fight. Crocodile armor, 3rd century AD, found in Manfalout, a site on the banks of the Nile in Upper Egypt. The world's shortest commercial flight between Westray to Papa Westry in the Orkney Islands. It lasts for 1 minute and 14 seconds. Papa Westray Airfield. Westray Airfield. In Roman times, tiger eyes, small white stones were placed among the stones on the road so that they could be seen at night, similar to modern road reflectors. Saddam Hussein's personal zoo. Baghdad Airport, March 2003. Before retreating from the airport, Republican Guard troops released a few hundred malnourished animals onto the battlefield. I was stalked at night by hyenas. Sniper teams were used to kill a lion and a gorilla terrorizing the base. Life cycle of a leaf. This aerial photo of Manhattan in 1931. Xu Changdong has won the Astronomy Photographer of the Year award with this photo of an annular eclipse last year over Tibet. Hornet's nest found in Poland, 80 cm wide. This ship that submerges itself to carry entire oil rigs. The Dockwise Vanguard submerges to slide under enormous loads, then rises out of the water to carry them like traditional cargo. The size of this wombat. On average, wombats are 3.3 feet long and weigh 55 to 88 pounds. The wombat is the world's largest burrowing animal and the second largest marsupial after some species of kangaroo. 1930s baby cage was a bed in a wire cage suspended from city apartment windows. The intention was that it was part of a process to toughen up the babies and make them better able to withstand common colds. While Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin explored the surface of the moon, astronaut Michael Collins stayed behind in orbit flying the command module and took one of the most famous photographs in human history. This is a closed terrarium ecosystem. The plants provide oxygen for the animals and the animals produce carbon dioxide for the plants to use. The water evaporates and comes down again as rain. It can survive sealed for years with animals and plants inside. Wolf compared to a husky. Didn't learn until recently how massive wolves are. Pretty sure about 3 times bigger than the average husky. Gold-plated. Full auto 1911 confiscated after police dog bust. A World War I memorial made by Butti Hofafistvan in Vakrato, Hungary, a family missing their father. Face reconstruction of Alexander the Great. Ospreys in hunting mode. Finally, and for the first time, the Well of Baraut, also nicknamed Well of Hell. From the inside, Yemen. She keeps same pet tortoise 59 years. 16 inches Mk7 US naval gun versus 26 inches thick armor of Yamato class battleship. Ruth Snyder is secretly photographed being electrocuted for the murder of her husband. Her accomplice and lover Judd Gray would be electrocuted 10 minutes later. This is the first photograph of an electrocution. This photo is a comparison of Zengi's ship to Christopher Columbus' Santa Maria. Both of them were great explorers of their time. Zengi died in 1433 and Christopher Columbus was born in 1450. The big ship was Zengi's. A seahorse sees its reflection in a diver's watch. American P-38 fighter plane has emerged from the sand, where it was buried, 65 years after it crash-landed on a beach in Wales. Albino deer in my backyard. photo shoot of the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus, taken in 1993. The ones in white shirts were the remaining member of the original chorus. Those in black suits represented members died of AIDS. The ancient wooden Orthodox church, built in 1655 at Krasnaya Lyaga, Russia. Stunning photo of La Palma eruption. Post-it note being pulled off under a microscope. Despite being obligate carnivores, crocodilians love to eat fruit and other plant matter. This is done to supplement their diet with extra vitamins and fibers. Nakio, a mixed breed dog from Nebraska, has become the first dog fitted with 4 prosthetic limbs. He was abandoned in a foreclosed home and was found frozen into a puddle of ice water. Thanks to veterinarian assistant Christy Pace, who started a fundraiser to get him a brand new sets of paws. Flathead Lake, Montana. The lake is so clear one can actually see through 20 feet of water column. This tree decided to begin a new life. In the Atacama Desert in Chile, 3,000-year-old densely packed shrub called the Isla. It looks like moss covering rocks, but it is actually a cluster of leaves and branches so hard and densely packed you can stand on them. Artist uses cutouts and local architecture to create distinctive artworks. The crew of Inspiration 4 completed more than 15 orbits around planet Earth since liftoff. These are skeleton panda sea sweats, also known as ascidians. They're marine invertebrate filter feeders that will probably end up in a Tim Burton film at some point. A 28,000-year-old 8 cm high male head carved of mammoth ivory, found in Dolní Věstonice in the Czech Republic. The scene in The Shining that Stanley Kubrick had reshot 127 times to get it right. 1978. Face of an ant, seen through an electron microscope. Mommy Jacana and her babies. Jim Rice Hall of Fame baseball player saves 4-year-old boy after being struck by a foul ball, not off his bat, goes back into the game with blood-soaked uniform, visits child in the hospital and ends up paying for medical expense. This moth in my garden that's disguised as a hornet. Vaccine card from 1956 recently found in a thrift store. Appointment and record card for poliomyelitis vaccine. This is a tank silencer. I didn't even know these existed. Overton Bridge, Scotland. Dozens of dogs have jumped from the bridge in apparent seasides and no one knows why. The devilish underside of a shark. In 2018, the world's most expensive bottle of vodka was stolen from a bar in Copenhagen. The bottle, made of silver and gold, had a diamond-encrusted cap and was worth $1.3 million. It was later found at a construction site. Apparently, the thief only drank the vodka and left the empty bottle behind. The Royal Portuguese Cabinet of Reading is a library in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, built in the 1880s. In 1915, Charlie Chaplin participated in a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest and came in third. Interconnector chain rings that are made out from a single piece of stone without any joints. This architectural marvel is located at Veradharaja Perumal Temple. Sculpture highlighted from Frost, Van Dusen Botanical Garden, Canada. The only surviving example of a type of Roman shield known as a scutum. These shields were used in the Testudo Tortoise Formation. Ants battle under an electron microscope. Lightning storm caused by the volcanic eruption. Blue fox agate. When praying mantises mate, the female rips the male's head off when they are done. I was on a walk when I found this aftermath. That's the head in the lower right. A stunning photo captured by Bud Hill and Edie Soyser show a group of cheetahs, the world's fastest land sprinters, struggling to swim through a raging river in Kenya. The striking photo is one of the highly commended entries in the 2021 Wildlife Photographer of the Year competition. They all survived. Captain Jack Bonneter, the one-armed lion tamer with his pride, Coney Island in 1905. He may have only had one arm, but definition had balls of steel. Lake Baikal, Siberia, is the largest freshwater lake on the planet. It is also the oldest at 30 million years and the deepest with a maximum depth of 5,387 feet. With water so pure it is here you get to see freshwater ice, which you can see through, almost appearing like it is turquoise in color. A frozen plate of spaghetti in Antarctica. SpaceX launcher seen from my backyard. The Arc de Triomphe in Paris has been wrapped by the Christo Foundation, a year after the artist's death. The Great Green Wall is an African-led movement with an epic ambition to grow an 8,000 kilometers natural wonder of the world across the entire width of Africa, Senegal, Djibouti, Skierdunkums and Thumla Complex Descent Corbert's Calwa, Jackson Hole, Wyoming, 1989. An abandoned mosque in Indonesia sinking into the ocean. Zhongshaji bookstore in China. Greg Valentino, a bodybuilder who injected synthil stacked with equipoison test propanate, about 3,000 milligrams a week, into his biceps. At his peak, they measured 27 inches. At one point he punctured an abscess and the infection caused it to blow up with pus, and had blood pouring out of it for hours. Artist Michael Pedersen installs spoof signs in public places. Pigeon departures. Pigeon arrivals. Wonderland. Endless waiting area. Lonely picnic area. A local crochet teacher in the town of Aljarín de la Torre in Malaga, Spain, used her and her students' skills to make colorful sunshades for the town. Octopus eggs before they are hatched. Sir Richard Owen standing next to a moa skeleton and holding the first bone fragment belonging to a moa ever found. 1879. This guy in my town plated parts of his Hummer in 14K gold. This award-winning residential development / condominium, named The Interlace, is located on Depot Road, Singapore. It won the prestigious World Building of the Year title at the World Architecture Festival. How Brussels sprouts grow. Whales have 5 fingers hidden in their flippers that are a leftover trait from the mammal's ancient ancestor that walked on land some 50 million years ago. Westray.